Hello, friends. Hi, y'all. I am sitting outside on my front porch. It's a little bitty area. And it's 7 o'clock. So I don't know how much longer the light is going to last out here. But I hope a bit, and I will just let that be the closing of the day and of our time together when it gets too dark for you to see me. Hi. I've really wanted to talk with y'all, but at the same time, I thought, but I don't really have anything to say. I feel like I'll just be repeating myself, but oh well, that'll be okay, maybe. And because I'm not even quite sure what all I've shared. I think I kind of know. But so, I have some stuff that I do want to talk about, and I hope it's just good to see me, like we're carrying on together in this journey. That kind of made me want to keep going, is like, oh, I don't want to lose this sense of having these friends and family with me. It's such an incredible, fun thing. So here I am, and this is Saturday after Easter, which was last weekend. So I hope you had a wonderful Easter, and if your faith tradition does Lent, I hope that you had a wonderful Lenten preparation time. And if you have a tradition that you haven't even had your Easter yet, which is the Orthodox, bless you in your current period. So Lent was so good. It was I mean, at first, I was afraid to do any sort of reflecting of my soul, because my soul has been a scary place. It's where my soul knows what I've been through, and I have been trying to live up here in my very conscious external life in order not to be too aware of what I've been through. And so Lent requires reflection. And so I didn't know how that was going to go. I just thought, I can't. Maybe, Lord, it'll be next year. Maybe this year will be a skip. But, there was a lot of skip for a bit. Although I did I hate to mention it now because you can't do it. What's the use? But for next year, Biola Lenten devotionals. They do mixed media every day. So it's on their website, Biola Lenten devotional, something like that. And anyway, so I would read what I could, and if it was so sad or something about Jesus, I just couldn't do it. It kind of reminded me of, oh, I see the pretty clouds. Oh, yes. Anyway, but as the 6 weeks went along, I was healing some. I feel like God has been healing me as time is going along, and as I'm doing counseling, and as I'm talking with, some of you, and just living life, having more life and stuff. So I got to where, one day, I guess maybe 3 weeks ago or so, I went into where he was exercising, and he was listening to this podcast I had told him about, like a couple months ago, and we had started it, but it was too close to home. It was a young woman who's dealing with possibly chronic cancer. And anyway, so I walked in and he turned it off. And I was like, I feel like I could listen to it. I feel like I could. Let me try. And I did some exercise while we listened to it. And in a way, it was very helpful. It like helped me feel like I wasn't just in this escape mode. And it was the same with the other person I think I told y'all about. Suleika. I can't remember her last name, which is terrible, because I always have to say she's John Baptiste's wife, if you want to look her up. And they did a documentary, American Symphony. Did I tell y'all about that last time? I think so. My memory's different now, y'all. I'm praying that God will heal it, that my memory will get better. But anyway, Suleika also is somebody who, she talks about her journey with cancer in a way that helps me open up to thinking about my own journey a little bit. She's so, especially Suleika, is so in touch with her own fears and her own desperation and despair and all these things, and it's very validating and helpful. But she also wants to be a person of hope, and so she's a very helpful voice for me. So anyway, I was listening to these people a little bit, and also so it helped me during Lent to begin to think about Jesus' passion and his, oh dear, the wind is awesome right now. Look, wait. Ooh, look at that. Oh, see our azaleas? They're dead, but they're clinging on. They won't drop off. Shoot, I'm on my crutches. See my crutches? There they are, always with me. I don't think I can get up and close the door. No, I can't hop around. Craig will close it when he comes back. He's walking the dogs. Y'all are just the best. I feel such a joy sharing these little things with y'all because you care. Thanks. So back to thinking about Jesus' passion and his life. Craig and I watched The Chosen season 3, and you guys, I recommend it. I'm somebody who is like, bad art is bad religion. So, or, bad Christianity. Bad art is bad Christianity. That is bad religion, is the word Madeleine L'Engle used in her book, Walking on Water. I'm reading it right now for a book group with my writing community. Thank you, writing community. But anyway, she said that. She said she was writing a book. She hated the idea, but someone asked her to write a book on Christian art, and this has to do with The Chosen. And she was like, Christian art, that's a terrible phraseology. And, art is just art. And bad art is bad religion. Good art is good religion. So anyway, The Chosen, sometimes the art of it lacks a little bit, like the acting sometimes, and the writing sometimes, especially maybe from the beginning, at the beginning, but it it is so good. It season 3, it just, I didn't care about the acting or anything because God was using it to speak to me. Jesus was using it to speak to me and to come close to me. And I just felt so blessed through The Chosen. So it's something you have to have a streaming service for. I think we watched it on Prime. If you stream Prime, or you can watch it on your phone. Don't do it on the Chosen app, or it's Angel something. Anyway, look it up. Okay, so all of those things working together have been very wonderful for my spiritual life. And I've been on crutches, so I've been sitting in this spot a lot because it has been amazing weather. The spring, and it has been gorgeous, and I couldn't go walking. Doggone it. But God loves me, and so I think He's loving me in this chair. It's in a chair on our little porch. And so there's our doors. Look at my cute floor. You get to see my cute floor. It's one of my favorite parts, these doors and my entryway floor. And then we have just this little stoopy thing here. And then it's okay. So this is where I've lived a lot of my hours. And God has been very sweet to me. I mean, this wind, I had to come out here to do this and not go in my room, my art room, because the wind is so amazing. So, in The Chosen, they have not done the parts where, well, I haven't seen season 4. It was in theaters, and we can't go to theaters right now. So anyway, Jesus, we didn't cover the parts where of Easter, of Holy Week, where he is, Palm Sunday, and then the Last Supper, and then the arrest, and then the crucifixion, and then the resurrection. That has not been shown on The Chosen yet, but I thought that was important to say for some reason. I don't know. Just Jesus has been speaking to me about his love, his great love. And I just keep meditating on him in the garden and how he suffered, and he was aware that he was suffering, and he cried out to God with just deep cries and groanings, and he required an angel to minister to him, and he sweat blood. I mean, it was just horrible. And he asked if what he was facing could be taken from him, and he said, but not my will, but yours be done. And I know I've talked about this, but I'm just still sitting with that and letting God speak to me about it. I feel more open to it, to saying, what might you require of me? And not my will, but yours be done. Oh. I feel like I can say that because I'm coming out of the trauma. But anyway, and I keep thinking also that suffering isn't just for suffering's sake, that we share in Christ's sufferings, and it's not just to suffer. Jesus did not just suffer to suffer. He said yes because there was a joy set before him, and he could trust that his Father, in his Father's love for him, he said, I abide in my Father's love. So, Jesus wasn't like a martyr, like, in his head, like, oh, well, I can suffer. If God, my Father's asking me, I'll do it. It was for a reason. We're in a sorry state, stuck, trapped. And he was our way out. And bringing many sons to glory is part of the joy set before him. So, let's see. What else? Did I tell you all about this book? Voyage of the Dawn Treader? Sorry if I did. I was reading The Silver Chair with my writing community, and it was so good. It just made me want to read all of the Chronicles of Narnia. I just feel like, yes, God has been helping me process some things about what I've been through these books. As C.S. Lewis attempted to kind of reflect who God is in the books. And one thing about the lion, Aslan, who is like the Christ figure, one thing that I've been convicted about, he sometimes is a little bit stern with the kids if they're doing something that is taking life, from either themselves or others. And Aslan, he might roar a little underground roar or something like that, and then say, child, this is what you must do. And it was good for me to okay, maybe that's how you were with me, Lord. I don't think that I did something and then that gave me scleroderma or cancer, but there they are. But for me to trust him, that was a big thing in The Chosen, and also in The Silver Chair, Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So good. And so I wanted to read this part to y'all so Aslan, he's he's no nonsense. He's not going to take foolishness if it's going to trap me in something yucky like self-pity or, greed or whatever it is. He wants you out of there right away. Okay? Is it getting dark? It's getting dark. Okay, let me see. Oh shoot, I think I wrote it in my journal. Okay, but he also is so loving. He's so powerful and loving. Okay, where's it? Okay, here it is. Okay, so Lucy, the little girl, one of the Pavinsky children, babe, can you close this door? They'll stay. Good girl. Oh, she stayed. She was so good. So anyway, Lucy is in a room in this big house, and she hears some steps coming down the hall, and it's been a really creepy house, and she hears like padding on the carpet, and she turns around, and it's Aslan, and it says, so listen through to the very end. Then her face lit up. Let me skip a part that you don't know what it's talking about. And she ran forward with a little cry of delight and with her arms stretched out. For what stood in the doorway was Aslan himself, the lion, the highest of all high kings. And he was solid and real and warm, and he let her kiss and bury herself in his shining mane. And from the low earthquake-like sound that came from inside him, Lucy even dared to think that he was purring. Oh my gosh. So that is so incredible. It's that mutuality that God intends. It's the whole reason of the cross. The mutuality of love and delight in one another. And so Aslan was just as happy as she was. And he was happy in her. He was purring. I've never been a cat person or had a cat, but I've had family that has cats and friends, and we all know that when a cat is purring, they're just in heaven, right? They're in their happy place. So anyway, I thought that was really special. And I had a time this week. It's getting dark. Let's see. Last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever, that I felt like God was purring with me. And I'm just I'm just thinking about Lucy with Aslan and how his purring came when she just cast herself on him and was enjoying his mane, the feel of his mane, and kissing him. So anyway, one day I was sitting out here. It was an amazing day, and so these bushes up over here, those are azaleas, and so are the ones that have the dead flowers on them. And the other, those, can you see? Yeah, those. So we've got a whole bunch of azaleas, and this year they were like magic. It was absolute magic. They just massive protrusions of blooms. It was crazy. The bushes were just overloaded. They were just, it was, it was abundance. Abundance again. And to sit out here and, I had to sit here and I'm surrounded by them. And so one day I was like, oh, I just have to I'm getting up on my crutches and I'm going to go get a closer look at these flowers. And basically, like Lucy, I buried my face in them. I got on my crutches and I crutched over to the big this long row of them, and they were just everywhere, just so many pink blossoms. They were kind of a reddish pink, and I just like buried my head in them and touched their petals, and then I started to stare at one flower, and as I was staring at one flower, the craziest thing happened. And please don't think I'm dumb if you've always known this. I suddenly saw inside the flower, it was like invisible ink became visible, and all of a sudden there was this tattoo-like stamp inside the flower, inside the azalea, and it was like a darker red than the red of the azalea, and it looked kind of like tiger stripes or something, like just this flare of stripes and stuff. And it was only on one petal mostly of the interior. There were 5 petals, and I was just like, what are you? Where did you come from? And then I looked at the next one next to it, and it had it too. And then every flower I would look at, it had the little tattoo design inside of it. And I have always just thought of azaleas as just a solid color. And I was totally taken aback and mesmerized and just like, these are gorgeous. What is this? What is this magic? And I started crutching around because each bush, they're different types of azaleas and different colors. These had it too. This was a light pink azalea, and it had a hot pink, that's like tiger stripes tattoo thing inside. And then you can kind of see it this way. These were like so obvious. I was like, how did I never know this? Can you see the hot pink kind of, showing? Anyway, that's what that is. And no matter what color azalea we had, it had it. And I felt like God was having so much fun with me, showing me his creation and how he delights in the tiny things of creation. And like that, I was looking at those designs that no one else in the whole world was ever going to see. And I was thinking, those designs are probably unique to each flower. Because I never looked it up, but I'm thinking it probably, when they're closed up in the bud, it probably comes from the little stamens and pistils, the little tubes that poke up out of a flower. Maybe maybe an ink kind of comes out of those tubes and imprints on the fang, the petal. So anyway, I thought, God knows every single one of those, and each bush is filled with so many flowers, and every 5-petaled flower has one that has this design on it, and it kind of bleeds over into the two by it. But anyway, and he sees those, and then he shared them with me. And you've probably always seen those. I know many people have. I know one person who does. You know who you are. She told me. And anyway, I truly believe that God was purring. Or laughing and smiling and showing me. And, you know, he's alive. He's living. And he's the creator. So he's creative, and he does all this stuff. And it's all based in Jesus. And it has been so delightful thinking about Jesus. And The Chosen really helps because it brings out, you know, you watch for hours and you can see, you can focus, you not get distracted maybe from, you know, whatever. So our sycamore, wait, am I showing? Yeah. Anyway, I love you all. I think that's all I'm gonna say today. Okay, just factual stuff. I go to the orthopedic again this week, and it'll be 5 weeks. It will have been 5 weeks in a half a week. So I'm doing it. I'm crutching around, and I don't know. He said he can't tell on an x-ray whether it was healing. I don't know. Why am I going to do another x-ray? I need to ask him. Like, why are we doing x-rays, and how are you going to know when it's healed? My bone, my hip, you know? Hip. If you haven't tuned in lately, I have a part of my hip is fractured, and I am staying off of it so it can heal. Okay, and what else might you wonder about? Guess what? My oncologist said I can fly. I can air travel. I have hit a new phase. And I told y'all, right, that I've been going to church. Did I tell you? Going to church. And I feel silly because I sit up on the platform. Yeah, I think I did tell y'all. Like, it's a good thing that I'm not Catholic anymore, because I wouldn't be able to do that. Mom would say, yes, you could. But anyway, Craig and I were up there trying to stay away from everybody. But we're at least involved, and we get to talk to people from a distance. And that's been great. And then I went twice now to the Wednesday night time also. Not the 1 hour dinner part, because that's total chaos and spit flying everywhere. And then, but after the second hour is a time of teaching and sharing like stuff. And so, we sit in the back during that because there's not as many people in the church. And so the people are sitting in the front of the church, and we sit in the back, and it's very sad sometimes, sort of. But I ask God to help me feel connected. I think Craig usually does. Help me feel connected when we're at church like that. And, you know, I feel I could be going more places, maybe, but I can't because I'm on crutches. It's very difficult. I have to figure out how to make my life social while I'm on crutches. I think, yeah. Okay, and let's see, what else? I really don't know when my next like PET scan kind of thing will be. Trying not to think about it. But I am very much praying, asking God, please, Lord, please heal my body. Please restore me to health. As much health as you would want to give me. So, same stuff. I'm so groggy. So groggy in the mornings. I am so grateful. I have the afternoons that I feel more energy. And some evenings, like around this time, I'm still doing okay. And then, but it's just, I can feel like it's not until 2 o'clock that I'm actually living life. Because I have to go to bed after breakfast. I get up. It's just a little while till lunch. I got to make myself eat lunch. And then I'm so tired, I take a nap again. So pray that there's more wakeful time. And also my stomach continues to be a bit of a problem. It's just, I just eat and I feel kind of nauseated. And sometimes before I eat, I don't want to eat. So I'm still praying that God, in His time, will make that better. And then there's, the other stuff, just other things that are results of the chemo. I have high blood pressure right now, and they're trying to figure out, get that managed. And it's hard seeing my body having gone through so much. But I think being on crutches, it did slow me down. I was pushing my body pretty hard physically when I would work out, when I'd go walking. Maybe that wasn't good for me. Maybe it's better that I have been sitting a lot. But okay, all right, folks. I love you very much. And even if you're new friends, I mean, I love you, We're to love one another. Okay. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.